COVID-19 and the effect that it's having on many Americans, especially those of us that are in business for ourselves, those of us that are self-employed. And I thought that it was essential that we kind of talk about making sure that we have a business continuity plan in place. And so I took the opportunity to get Dion as a part of this so that he can kind of talk about some of those systems, some of those software things that we need to be, thinking about when it comes to our business. All right, and I see a lot of business owners coming in. I see Kanan, how you doing? Sandra, good to see you. Trish, Valerie, thanks for joining in. Monica, Donald, I know, that's right. Put it out there, Doc. Thanks, Donald. Hey, Gerard, how you doing? Good to see you. So, just to let you know who I am, I'm Dr. Nissa. I'm a board-certified chiropractor and business coach. I help chiropractors and entrepreneurs start their business without making costly mistakes. All right, so we're going to talk about this business continuity plan. Hey, Marshall, how you doing? Hey, Tammy, hey, Andrew. So, I have had a lot of conversations with some small business owners, especially here in the Macon Middle, Georgia area. And the first thing that I ask is, do you have a business continuity plan? And it's like crickets. And they're like, what are you talking about? Hey, Rosalind, how you doing? I'm like, a business continuity plan. It's almost the same exact crickets that I get when I ask, do you have a business succession plan? They're like, So, hey, how you doing? Hey, Regina. So it is super important on the cusp of COVID and many of us having to be at home and many of us are being entrepreneurs, self-employed, hobbyists, however you want to, and you're seeing the effect of everybody being at home and how it has an effect on your business. So first we got to talk about, what this business continuity plan is. And just to wrap it up into like something digestible, it's the plan that you have put into place if something catastrophic happens. All right. So it's like a game plan for your business when something goes bad. All right. And I would tell you that the number one reason to have a business continuity plan is a global pandemic. What are we in right now? A global pandemic. Most people think it is. Hey, Des, how you doing? Hey, Andre, hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Des. All right, so most people think it's a natural because that's more common. You mostly come and you see those more often than not. But this global pandemic that we're in right now has more of an economic effect on your business than it would be, say, a hurricane or a tornado, because most insurance companies are ready for those kind of things and they have those type of plans kind of already set aside for you like that. But most do not cover you during something like we're dealing with right now, a communicable disease. Hey, how you doing? Sheila, how you doing? Katrina, hi Terry. Hey Shadonna, we're kind of talking about how we need to be using this time that we're out of work, those of us self-employed, to be establishing our business continuity plan so that if anything like this were to happen again, we are ready and we're not caught off guard. So, hey Kendra, how you doing? So we kind of talked about what a business continuity plan is. I just told you the number one reason why you should have one, what we're going through right now, this global pandemic. And also we're going to talk about now how to kind of construct this thing, because you need to be thinking on a systems, software, what I'm going to do with my employees, what we're going to do for cash when it's not coming in anymore. And you have to have something in place for all of those. some money, because that's a big elephant in the room. You know, I tell all of, hey Angela, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I tell everybody that uses me as a coach that you have to have 6 months at the minimum income for your business and your personal somewhat set aside, right? So says I'm a tucker. I tell people that all the time. I will tuck money to the side all the time. Even when I have a lot of money, I'm constantly saving and put it in the side, because you just don't know when you're gonna need that rainy day. Here we are. It's raining. All right. So so when it comes to me and this thing that we're dealing with right now, I'm not sitting around like, oh God, what's gonna happen? Is my business be gone when this is over? Hey Mo, how you doing? But it is but I do feel like it's my mission to make sure that the information that I have taught myself, that I can teach it to others, so that you don't have to go down the same rabbit hole. So okay, so we're here. All right, hey Doug, how you doing? We're here today. So what are we gonna do to make sure we're not here if something like this happens again? If you don't have the 6 months of personal income saved, or the 6 months of business expenses put to the side, hey Julio, you got to start doing that right now. You have to start figuring out what those expenses look like and start tucking. That's the best word I can give you, because that's what my grandmother used to call it. She used to call it tucking it away for a rainy day. Okay, so this is what we have to do, guys. We can't sit up there and use all our resources trying to have our overhead look all high, and we can't be spending all our money trying to make sure we got the big families laid out, tricked out for in town, because that is not going to have us in a situation where we'll be able to meet the demands of our business if we have to shut it down. Hey Tiara, how you doing? Hey Charlena, hey Rufus, hey George, hey Chantel, hey Dwayne, hey Leanne, thank y'all all for coming in. So we're just talking about, we're here now. We're in a situation where we're having to sit at home. No revenue is coming into our business, and a business continuity plan is a must. If you are in business for yourself, you're self-employed, and you don't have a business continuity plan, I'm not going to say shame on you. We're going to say it's time to get to work. This is what we're going to do while we're sitting at home. All right, we're going to make sure our stuff is together. Hey Marquise, how you doing? All right, so first thing, how do we go about saving and getting this 6 months of personal and our 6 months of business? Okay, how do we go about doing that? Hey Millicent. Because that is such a self-control journey. That is something that you have to figure out on your own. But I will tell you what I did to come up with that and make sure I had that, even starting out, because this is just a general practice that I've had. Anytime I felt like I wanted to, go or stray away from that program, I had to get my senses back together. I had to say, hey, remember, this is the end game. The end game is to make sure that if something happens, that my business structure is solid, because this is the investment that I have made. I got to make sure that it's there to pay me something back at the end. Hey, y'all. So what I did is I found out in the beginning how I was going to live with half of my salary. Mm-hmm. So I was paying myself twice a month. One check for me, one check for the pot. And I did that until I had the money that I needed to be saved up to have the 6 months for my personal expenses and the 6 months for my business. Remember, you got employees and everything else if that's the kind of situation that you're in. You don't want to have a situation where, like we are right now, where everybody has to be at home and you got to lay people off, and now they can't fend for them. They've been giving you 100% in your office, and now you can't take care of them. So nobody wants to be in that situation. So you want that you have the funds to be able to take care of your staff as well, if you have staff and employees. Hey Corin, how you doing? Hey Shannon, hey James. So those are the big, that's the big one, that trying to figure out how to tuck that money away for your business continuity plan. All right, so the second thing is your insurance, the business insurances that you have. Hey Walt, hey how you doing? Hey Renee. So I do have a business plan that covers me if there's any interruption in my business. All right. Hey Nicole, how you doing? So what I did find out about my plan going through all of this was that my plan will cover me for everything that I got going on, except, guess what?
Global pandemic.
A global pandemic. A global pandemic. So it does take care of anything that deals with communicable diseases. See, they learned from the last time something happened with 911. They was like, hey, we're not paying for all of that anymore. So they had to get a little bit smart, because they had all of those cases and those claims that came through, and they were about to die and not be able to make it themselves, paying out all those claims. Hey Olivia, hey Matt, how you doing? Hey Shauna, Dr. Hey Doc. So you gotta get the business interruption insurance. If you don't have the business interruption insurance, you got how to add that as part of your package for your business. All right, so let me tell you about this. So I'm gonna tell you this really crazy. So I have two businesses that are right next to each other. One of my business, and they're with the same insurance company. I'm with the Hartford. Because one of the businesses got grandfathered in, because I had already had the policy before all of the stuff happened before. So it did have it where it will take care of business interruption due to the communicable but the other one doesn't. Same company. All right. But I'm saying all of this to say that it's important to have business interruption insurance, because we may not have a global pandemic every time, but we surely can have a natural disaster. Most of us live in areas that can have floods, hurricanes, tornadoes. You know, you can have those things, and those catastrophes can definitely have you where you can't go in and out of your business. All right, next one. Hey Matt, how you doing? You talk like man-made disasters. So let's say something happens due to human neglect. Those of y'all that are in the Middle Georgia area, y'all remember that the boutique was up the street on 3rd Street. Hey Doc, hey Doc Laura, how you doing? The business was up the street on 3rd Street. Y'all remember we had the huge fire, okay? No fault of our own. There was a faulty electrical had fire. Guess what? We were closed for 6 months because of that fire. And had we not had the business interruption insurance, that's 6 months of the revenue that we had saved. So the business insurance definitely came in handy. Hey Julio, hey Bernard, hey Marjorie, how you doing? So those are those man-made disasters that can definitely happen in your life. All right, so fires, if you have a business that has certain type of chemicals that you have to store, and if they get too hot, they may combust. So you have to keep all that in mind with that. I just gave you the great example of a utility failure that can cause you to have some issues. These are all things that you have to take into consideration when you're trying to come up with your business continuity plan. What about, this is a huge one, intentional sabotage. Who 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 knew that that our country was going to have a bomb threat when 9/11 happened? All right, so we have to make sure that we are doing the necessary things to be about our business. We can't just let things will just happen on happenstance. It doesn't work like that. All right, and so cybersecurity attacks, and that's one of the reasons why I have Dion on with me tonight, because that's what he does for a Fortune 500 company. Is he takes care of compliance, trying to make sure that cybersecurity is the way that it's supposed to. So I'm going to kind of let him talk a little bit about that, because that's when you have an attack on a company's technical assets. And I don't know about you, for my business, if I don't have my computers working and somebody's hacking into my system and my software and stuff like that, it's a done deal. We shut down. So that's another way that you need to have business continuity insurance. So let's talk a little bit about cybersecurity threats.
Well, those can come in many forms. Some of the most common now are phishing attacks, where you get emails, or malware attacks. I'm sure you've heard about the ransomware attacks. Even the city of Atlanta was susceptible to a ransomware attack, and those normally come in forms of email or something that is familiar. They may look like it comes from someone internal. You open up the email that says, "Oh, hey, click on this attachment." You click on it, and at that point, they have control of your system. We do phishing simulations at our job to make sure that we are staying on top. So, we train them. Your best defense to that is always a good offense.
So what does that look like for like small businesses? Because you're doing that for like a large corporation that has like a big huge IT department, a huge team of people that is. Hey Salon, hey Tara, hey Amy, hey Thomas, hey Erica, hey Shay, hey Dayas, hey Jay. Hey Miss Shirley, how you doing? I just want to recognize y'all. But you're doing this for like a huge Fortune 500 global company.
Yeah, we have a cybersecurity team, and that's all that we do. But there are things you can, even at a small business, even on your personal computer, have good antivirus. Keep it up to date. Get some type of malware detector. Most of the antivirus software that you buy now does have malware detection or active malware detection. Even you can get it through your web browser to secure your web browsers, to scan your email, and that's just one way of getting through it. Another way, again, is training your employees or the people that work in your office to understand what to do and what not to do on your computers, because that's, I always tell people when people ask about, what about hacking and all of that, and I say it's 80% social engineering, 20% skill. The more I know about you and your company, the easier you are of a target. I've done many simulations where it's just asking the right question, and people will give you the information that you need in order to get in the system.
Okay, good. So you've kind of talked about two tools. You were like malware.
Malware.
And then you talked about antivirus. So for the sake of our small business owners out here, can you talk to them about some that you may recommend?
I mean, any of them. McAfee, Kaspersky, any of the more popular, Symantec. There's others that's out there. Just any antivirus you can use is better than nothing at all.
Okay.
As long as you buy it from a reputable source, a commercial reputable source, it should be fine.
All right. So I see some more people came in. I want to say hello to Dr. Hey, Ms. Crawford. Thanks for all your support. Hey, Tara. Hey, Corliss. Hey, Austin. How you doing? So malware. So talk about that a little bit more. We may have some listeners tonight that they may just, when they get their computer, they may see like the antivirus package that comes on it, and when it goes away, they just don't
Yeah.
get it, and it's
Well, we all make that mistake. A lot of people buy the computers. It'll come just about every computer you have now comes pre-installed with a trial version of antivirus and malware software on it. I recommend go ahead and buying a subscription when you have that free version, because it's going to run out. It's going to be a trial version for a while, but go ahead and spend the money to go ahead and get the fully licensed version. Therefore, you'll get all the latest updates, because viruses, just like natural viruses in the world, there are always new ones coming out. And what you want to do is protect yourself against the latest viruses that are being created, because people are creating them all the time.
right. So we have somebody that just said that they work at one of the courts downtown, and they receiving emails after a law firm had been hacked. So I guess it's pretty easy for that to happen.
It is very easy. A lot of people. What happens again, especially in big companies, and even in smaller companies, you will get an email from someone, what we call spoof, email address, and basically it'll look like it came from somebody you know. It'll look like it came from you. All people, whenever you get anything and it has any attachments, look at the header line, look at the email address, make sure it is the exact email address. If there's an attachment or a link that somebody wants you to click on, just don't click on the link, but you can hover your mouse over and you can read the URL. If there's any extra characters, if it doesn't say, let's say for example, if it says it came from bankofamerica.com, when you hover over that link, if the URL, if the web address doesn't read bankofamerica.com, and that's it, and if it has .com, .something else, usually that's a spoofed email or a spoofed address, and it's coming from somewhere else other than your actual source.
See, I'm not in IT. I know me and my money. I don't like for them to part. And so if I start getting stuff like that, I get on the phone. I be like, did y'all send me an email about needing more information, because I gave you my information when I signed up, so you should already have it. See, that's me. That's my grandmama in me. So I do a little bit more research, but I don't touch those things. But somebody said, do we need to buy the subscription when it runs out?
Or switch to another provider or whatever. Do not go unprotected. I said going unprotected on any system. Always have some type of antivirus software.
Okay, so malware. What are some suggestions of those companies for our small business?
Malware Bytes is one that I always use all the time. Very good malware detector. It'll scan your PC. And Malware Bytes, they have a version that's a free version that if you're a personal user, if you're a business user over so many people, I think they charge you a small fee, but it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
So, but these are things, as you're talking about a continuity plan, these are things that, you should have in place regardless of a continuity plan. This is kind of, like I said, taking the offense and protecting on the front end. Other parts of your business continuity relates to technology. You want to make sure you have good, let's say in case of a disaster or anything, how do you do backups of your data? Where's your data stored? Do you have cloud storage, or do you have just an extra hard drive that you plug into, and that's how you back up your stuff? If so, where do you store that hard drive? Do you put it in a safe that's fireproof? You do not lose your data.
Right.
Data is king, and if you lose your data, you're out of business. A lot of times you can.
Okay, so let's just say some hellos to some of our folks that have chimed in, and we're going to answer some of the questions that have come up. I want to say, hey Gabby, hey Danielle, James, Tiffany, Renata. I see. Hey, cuz. Hey, Jenna. Jenna says that her dad just updated hers on her laptop. But Monica has a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know: should she be purchasing a malware product in addition to her Mac?
You look at what I would ask you is look at what McAfee provides. A lot of the stuff now comes with built-in malware protection. So just make sure that whatever version you have does have malware protection. Now, again, it's not going to be 100% because, again, part of the responsibility lies on you to not do anything that's detrimental to your business. If you don't recognize an email or an email address, it doesn't come from a sender that you know, don't click on it. If it's from a sender that you know, but it doesn't look quite right, don't click on it. Call that person and say, hey, did you send me XYZ?
I'm good at that.
You know, I buy before I click on something. If it just doesn't look right, it goes straight to the delete box. I don't even play with it. Because if it's really the person that sent you something, send it again, or they'll call you and say, hey, did you get my email?
Right.
So just be diligent and just look for things like that.
So I know that we're seeing all of the news that COVID-19 is this global healthcare problem, but it's twofold, guys. It is not only a healthcare problem, it is an economic problem. So that's why we're kind of talking about the economic side. We're getting inundated with so much information as it relates to the healthcare side on what to do, what not to do. I've even shared some information on my site about that, but we need to get to the nitty gritty when it comes to when all of this is over. How do we make sure our business is on solid ground? All right, hey, Dr. Cameron, how you doing, Teresa? So we're right at the point where we're talking about the things or identifying those key business areas and those critical functions within our business. I know for my business, if my computers are not functioning properly, getting what I need from that department, I suffer. So it becomes a something that I have to have in place for my continuity plan. It comes to making sure my computers don't get hacked, making sure that my computers and software are running at its optimum. And most companies now with that type of technology. I think
one other thing when it comes to your systems and computer systems, always update. Please update. I can't stress that enough. Please update your systems. What I mean by update, if you get a Windows update, if you get a Mac update, if you're using a Mac, please run those updates on your systems. They're there to protect you. Usually, the operating companies like Microsoft, like Apple, or the company that you have the software with, they are always updating. They're finding vulnerabilities in their software. They'll find security holes, and they'll make updates so they can patch those things. And that's why they send out the updates all the time. It's not just to add new features or add other things to your software. A lot of times it's to fix security flaws in the software. So please, if you get the message to update, don't ignore it. Please update. All right.
Okay. So how these critical business processes and can definitely damage your revenue. So you can have revenue loss. It can also damage your reputation. So nobody wants their company's reputation to be tarnished. And we are feeling now that it can damage a company's ability to operate properly. Let's discuss a company's ability to pivot in a time like this and operate off-site, because we've had to do that. Mm-hmm. So I know many of you saw where I put my information out there for the store, for the retail store. We were blessed that we had in our plan from the beginning to have a web presence. I just don't know any business that is at its maximum operations that don't have a web presence. If you don't have a web presence, you need to use this time during the time that we're at home to develop you a website. All right, so okay, so stores closed. Well, I can still continue with business by petitioning to customers through my web and get people to go over there and buy items from the website, that portal, and still have some type of stream of income coming in for that business.
The internet never closes.
Exactly. So, how do you pivot your operations? They're off-site, and so that's something that we really need to talk about right now to make sure that you can do your business from. If we are in a situation where we have to be like we are right now for 2 or 3 more months, are you ready to pivot? And that is something to really be thinking about. We're talking about business continuity plan. Do you have a clear plan to move your support to work from home? Okay, and work from home would be productive and proactive. Are those things are going to be a part of that? So for me, we talked about the retail. Let's talk about my doctor's office. All right, so with the doctor's office, y'all know that I'm a hands-on doctor, and as a hands-on doctor, I have to touch people. So what we're doing right now to try to pivot is to do more telemedicine, where I can consult with patients, see the temperament of whether they're more severe, moderate, mild. If they're mild, moderate, we'll push them back in our schedule to see them face to face later. If it's severe, where it will take up time in emergency room, I'll go in and take care of them on an as need basis, so to speak. So that's what we're doing right now in that business. But I had that in place so that I knew what to do before all of this happened. So you need to get at the top of your mind. During this time, are you able to pivot, or have you pivoted? Or you just sit at the house watching the news and not using this time wisely. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on, because I don't things happen in happenstance. I think that this time that we're here together, this time that you are at home, you should use this time wisely to get your house in order. So if you don't have a business continuity plan, you need to be working on that. If you do not have a website so that you can sell whatever you have or do business digitally, you need to work on that. If your security is not tight with the use of your computer so that you can do business with that, you need to get those systems in order as to having your malware and what was the other one we heard? Because your department, I'll let you handle all of that. Antivirus. He does all that.
Backup plans. You can do off-site backup, so you can back up your data. Having either just don't have it on your PC. Either get yourself a portable hard drive, or do online backup in the cloud.
One thing, just for folks, okay, with this portable hard drive, because we're about ready to go. Now, if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comment section. You can go to my website, Nissa.com. It's a way for you to communicate with me there. You can also go to my page, Dr. Nissa on Facebook. What's the store capacity should people have or buy when they buy this? You know all those terabytes, you buy all that stuff like that. That's what you do.
It depends on the how much data you have. Data is cheap now as far as storage, so no less than 2 terabytes. No less.
Okay, so you got some nuggets to go take her home with We've talked about how much revenue you need to have saved. We've talked about how to protect your what you call your technology property. Would you say that? How would you say that?
I would just say, yeah, technology property, because I mean, if you have your customer data on there, you know,
right.
That's intellectual property
Through the digital
data.
platform.
Yeah.
So you want to protect that with those mediums. And then we've also about how you need to have your key strategies in place so that if you have to work offline or off site, you have all that stuff in place so that your business can continue to thrive and continue to bring in revenue for you, even if you physically be in the building. All right, again, my name is Dr. Nissa. I'm board certified chiropractor and business coach. I help chiropractors and start businesses without making costly mistakes. So it has been my pleasure to talk to you today. My special guest is Dunn, my personal IT guy. And so he can talk to you about a few things in protecting your property, your intellectual property, your property in the digital age that we're in. It has been fun. We'll catch you on the flip side.